Okay, guys, today, you know what? Brandi's in the house, and she's one crazy-ass chick. So what are we talking about today, Brandi?
Oh, you don't know crazy.
Apparently,
I got
know
quick
you.
release earrings here, homie. You wanna go?
Oh, you don't know.
Take that shit off. Let's go.
Yeah. Better calm down.
So we're talking about, I mean, how many of us know absolutely batshit crazy people? Right?
I think everyone does.
Yeah?
I mean, crazy is a loose term, but people that are just like behave really badly. You know what I mean?
That.
And just make. I don't even. Sometimes you just get in a situation with somebody that you thought that you knew, and then they start acting a certain way, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Where'd that come from?
Somebody turned that batshit crazy meter up.
What are you talking about?
What was that talk show host name? Robert Downey, something like that? What was his name? That crazy ass TV host? Was it Robert Downey? Not Jr., the actor.
I don't know.
I didn't know there was two.
You walked into a dead zone there, man.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it was like the biggest shock host there ever was. Oh,
It was a
come on, what's his
TV
name?
host?
Yeah. Way before Donahoe and all those guys.
Phil Donahue?
Before,
Donahoe?
I thought Mario. I thought Maury Povich had all the fucking weird
but
He was
no,
pretty- yeah.
what was
Yeah.
his name? The one that got punched in the face. What the fuck was his name?
Oh.
The mustache.
Yeah, that
We're
was the
doing well today, guys.
Geraldo.
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 Oh, well, Geraldo needed to be punched in the face. I mean, that guy, somebody
mean,
could
you
hit
know.
his ass.
I think
every morning.
if we're talking about like reporters and
Yeah,
people like that,
yeah.
I mean, you gotta go a little extreme sometimes just to kind of draw something from people.
Right.
But I'm just talking about like I was discussing people that are in relationships, and sometimes people behave really badly when they're in a relationship.
Especially the women. That shit crazy. Oh, here she's going to be coming after me now.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Come on, girl. Bring it on.
Is this what we're doing?
Let's
Because we can go down this path.
Maybe I don't want to.
No, I mean, I think that across the board, there has been, I think that people get hyper focused on something maybe that it is that they want, and they don't even really notice whether they're actually in love with this person, or they just are in love with the idea of being in a relationship. And I think that they also put every person into the same category as maybe their last bad relationship, and they never actually assume that maybe this person might be a little different. So if they're home late, for instance,
Sure.
your mind is going to go directly to whomever you were with before was doing while they were out.
Yeah, but don't you think it's a little bit of the times, too? Because look at all these people going batshit crazy at the college campuses. They're going batshit crazy. This lady just assaulted a 12-year-old kid riding his bike down
I
the
saw that
sidewalk.
today.
and all he was doing was riding his bike,
But the kid's got a GoPro on him.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole nother,
he got all of
there's a whole
it,
nother
yeah.
thing going on.
This is also like a new kind of sexual revolution type scenario where
12-year-old
people
boys?
don't date. No, people don't.
Yeah, apparently.
I didn't segue like that, but I mean, like, people aren't dating like people once did. They're dating on an app. And
Right.
basically, I think some people actually go on these apps assuming that I'm going to get into a long-term relationship and I'm going to get married from this situation. But basically, the other people on there are like, I just want to fuck, and then the person that's trying to get into the long-term relationship, they get a little shocked when they show up and they're like, so I'll buy you a drink and then we can go in the backseat of my car, or like, how does this work?
have love with you in my back seat.
Hey,
Yeah. And you're like, what?
How's that any different than when we dated, Troy?
And by the way,
I mean,
well,
but-
we had
but-
bench seats front and back.
But, I mean,
that's
I think
right.
you expect that from being in a bar until like midnight or 2 in the morning. And then, that song, last night at 2, I went home with a 10, and at 10, I woke up with a 2. You get a little drunk and you probably, people are going to go home with somebody at the end of the night. But that's not what they're getting at on a dating app. It's a dating app. It's not a fucking
This
app.
is where I think the young people got screwed today. Back in the day,
Right?
we had we had fucking super vans with water beds in the back of them and all sorts of cool shit. Now all you got is minivans. So
The stabbing cabin,
And Teslas.
and
the
Teslas.
shaggin' wagon.
Oh,
I'm
by the
sorry.
way, it was Morton Downey Jr.
Morton Downey Jr.
Remember him?
There you go.
No, I don't.
Crazy
Who is
ass.
this?
Wow, you're old
She's
as
too
hell,
young.
dude. It took
Was
you
this around the
fucking
time the
forever to
Ed
figure that
Sullivan
out.
show was on, or?
Oh man,
A really big show. Really big show.
you weren't even a glimmer in your daddy's eye when that shit was playing.
Yeah, more than likely.
Might
I
have
don't
been.
know. Have you guys ever been on a dating app?
No.
Me neither, but I hear terrible, horrible stories. I can't.
Well, don't they? What they say? Slide right or slide left?
Swipe.
What
Swipe.
Swipe? What is it? Which one's that? TikTok? No.
No, it's. I think it's all of them.
Oh,
you
is
know,
it?
I mean,
Tinder.
basically, you're
Tinder.
scrolling through the people. It's Bumble, it's Tinder, it's the fish
Bumble's
one.
for the older folks, right?
It's the Our Time, Farmers Only.
Farmers
you
Only.
know,
Farmers only. I want to go on that
I
one.
mean, Christian Mingle. There's, what's the more reputable ones?
There isn't one.
I don't know.
No,
what it
there's
is.
two of them that you can
Match-
like Match.com, and there's
Match.com.
another eHarmony.
eHarmony.
So those are the ones that like I've heard some people weren't accepted.
If you only
I'm
wanted
like,
the
how
back end,
fucked up do you
go to
have to
eHarmony.
be to not be accepted?
I would
onto
not
a
be
date?
accepted at
they
any
do
of
like
them, believe me.
they do like a psychological kind of intro where you have to fill out a bunch of stuff in order to become a member.
Well, listen, I think farm animals are still fair game. Okay, so that's all I'm saying.
Farmers Only is, because they want a girl that, I don't know, will fuck you in the back of your pickup truck while you drink some Miller Lights
With
or
some
something.
hay
I
in
don't
the
know.
back, yeah.
Honey, I'm on the middle lot. Can you give me another one?
If you want to go mudding and then hook up in the back of my pickup truck, you're my girl.
But I think Brandy's making a point.
Crazy.
I think you are anyway. Is that there's no more personal
Yeah, I had a
interaction,
point.
right? It's
I
like,
had a point.
How do you find anybody anymore when everybody's on their phone? You don't have these interactions, person to person interactions.
I wasn't necessarily, I don't want to get into a technology taking over people's lives conversation. I was just basically saying that I feel like it's so much more difficult
But
nowadays.
people don't date nowadays. I mean, look at your kids. They go out in groups. They don't.
Well,
they don't date
my
anymore.
son has had a girlfriend for quite some time, and I like her a lot.
Yeah.
We love you, Grace. So I hope that works out.
There you go. But
I'm going to be
but
really
most
sad
kids,
if it doesn't.
Most
I
kids
love
go
her.
out in groups now. They don't go out individual dating.
No, my
my
kids
son
did that.
does. No,
Yeah.
I don't. That's not true though.
Well, no, my kids in
I
high
don't
school,
agree.
the what are the proms and shit like
Yeah.
that? They'd get a big bus and it'd be like
Big group.
8 couples,
Yeah.
12
I'm
couples.
sorry. That's for the kids.
But like
that
you,
didn't
Hammer,
get
they wake
dated.
up the next morning.
Yeah.
They all got different people.
Generally,
they're
that's the
sleeping
kids
Yeah.
that didn't get asked, and so they're all like, "Fuck it, let's go as a group." I think that's
There you
more
go.
of what that
It's
is, and I
safe.
think that's always been like a standing thing.
My
But-
problem is I always had 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 chicks asking me, so I had to take them all. You know
Okay.
what the hell? Didn't want any of them to feel bad.
Talk about farm.com. How did this turn from crazies?
Yeah, well, that's
Now we're dating in groups.
yeah. We're dating in groups.
This is how conversations should go. Where we start with one thing, and this is how
Yeah,
it is.
that's the way it goes.
Any other time, you segue into something else, and
So Troy, how's your dating life?
It's been dead for about 35 years,
That's
actually.
how long you've been married.
I date my wife
damn.
exclusively.
Yeah.
And my daughters, actually. I
Prior
love going out
to-
with my daughters.
prior to being married, though, did you ever have like a crazy girlfriend?
No. Not that I
Really?
can think of, no.
Oh wow.
No,
Yeah,
I honestly,
it's-
I'm thinking. And
Jesus?
Sound
Oh,
guy
okay,
saying
well-
bullshit over there. Yeah.
how about not crazy?
Who was that?
How about not crazy, but one of my high school teachers?
Yeah.
That's probably okay. Crazy.
You were hooking up with
she
one of your
should
high
not have
school
done that.
teachers?
Yeah.
I feel like this is a story for another time.
Yes. Shh, don't tell that one.
It's hard to sit in your history class looking up at your teacher, knowing you just. Came
I had a
from
girl tie me
teacher's
up
house.
once, and she didn't want to let me go. And I mean, it took
Wait,
me a while.
hold on, Hammer. Shh, this just got interesting. Wait, what?
I don't remember now.
Yeah,
That's
he forgets.
cut me off.
You came from
No, I go
teacher's
to history
house?
class, and
And
my
what grade?
teacher's in the front of the room, and all my buddies are sitting around me from football, giggling because they know that the teacher happened to be my girlfriend at the time.
Wait, was
you
her
go.
name Mary Kay Letourneau?
Negative on that.
No, you know what? It's more. It happens more often than what people think. Because
What's the
I actually
statute of
looked up
limitations,
one of
by the
my
way?
teachers once too. So I mean, it happens more than you think.
Is it like your Mrs. Robinson type scenario?
Totally.
I mean, is that your platform for the rest of your relationships in life?
You asked me if I had a crazy one. That's as close
Yeah.
as I can come. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, but you're a young
Okay.
boy. You've got your
Hey, I
shit's
was
going
17.
crazy.
She
Yeah.
was 27. I
Yeah.
think it was.
Shit's going crazy.
He's only
Yeah.
17.
But the problem
Brandi,
was, another
what-
part of the
so-
problem was she lived like 2 streets in from the high school, and
Ah.
my car would always be there whenever he's going to like football. The double sessions, remember double
Right.
sessions first thing in the morning? My car would be there, and it's like, oh, so it wasn't like exactly quiet around campus.
Boy.
What were
So
you gonna
what was
ask?
your
Dog.
weird shit, Brandi?
I mean, it's no news to anyone. I had a pretty tumultuous 20-year relationship with somebody that, I wouldn't say crazy, but narcissism is a mental disorder,
Right.
and it is quite overwhelming. But I'm just drawing from this because I have a couple of close friends that are just actively going through some shit right now, and it's weird. I mean, people are doing odd things,
Well,
writing stuff on the mirror in lipstick.
Ooh.
Well, wait a minute. Look at our
putting
friend.
tracking devices on people's cars.
That's true. That's true.
Look
Look at our friend in Newport Beach who was a housewife, and
Mm-hmm.
the guy just took over her beach house.
Yeah, with a
and
weapon.
With a weapon that all the fucking cops had to come.
Yep.
I mean, going psycho.
I mean, this is the epitome of crazy.
Yeah.
You know what
Now,
I mean?
the question I have for both of you guys is:
Yes.
did this always occur, and we just know it more because the social media and everything is like so small now, or is this like something new?
I
don't
think it
it's
was
new.
worse back then.
There was always
because
crazy
It was
bastards.
it's always been crazy shit. But
Right.
I think it was probably worse back then because nobody saw it. Now
Or cared a lot of times.
you know it.
Yeah.
And now you can
Now that we're
confront
woke.
it.
I
Back
don't-
then, I think women were being abused a lot more.
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, well, obviously, I don't necessarily think that. I think that this is still very much a stigma as far as
It's systemic.
people being abused.
Right.
I think that it's one of those situations where even now, when everything is very publicized, I think this is still something that people don't want to touch. And people are actively trying to make the voice heard, as
Yeah,
far as
I agree.
this situation goes. But it is a slow process because no one wants to get involved in anyone's domestic issues. It's still very much a thing where no one. If people are yelling at each other in public, they're like, "Oh, that's his girlfriend or his wife," so I'm going to stay out of that. It's kind of one of those scenarios.
Look what Johnny
What would
Depp's
you
going
do?
through right now,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Right.
all-
somebody's always going through that shit.
Yeah, Amber
And-
Heard's lawyers are all talking nothing about. Only thing they're talking about is alcohol and his drug abuse. That's
Yeah.
all they're going for now. And by the way, what we're talking about when we say crazy and stuff like that, there is abuse and there's a lot of stuff that we're not
Right.
making
We're
not
light of.
talking
We're not
about that.
making fun
Yeah.
of that at
No,
all.
no.
That's a
No,
whole
no,
other
no.
topic. We're just talking about people being fucking stupid.
But I think, like I said, when I was talking about the dating apps or the social media, I think that a lot of people hyper focus on the fact that they should be in a relationship with somebody that they maybe shouldn't be, because I think it's very glamorized to be in a relationship and get married and have children and all of these things, because there's still very much a pressure, even though it's not the same as it was in the 1950s when women didn't even go to college. I mean, or they went to college for 4 years and then still were betrothed and had to get married and,
Yeah, what
and
was that
then
like, Cameron?
didn't utilize their college
still doing
degree didn't utilize their college degree whatsoever because they were a wife now and a mother, and they had to stay home and do all of those things and cater to their husband who took care of the family.
And it's I
And-
just
but
talked
I
to my dog
still
about that.
think that that's still something that is instilled into people's brains, is this is something that I need to do. And now it's a different kind of form of pressure. I need to show my beautiful wedding on social media and make sure
Everything.
everyone knows that I had this great day. But I promise you, after that day is fucking over, you have to be married now. You have to be married now. And you have to spend the rest of your life with somebody, and you have to have children with them, and you have to coincide for the rest of your life.
You're making me feel bad right now.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's so much
Can I get a
pressure,
tissue?
and so going through that process, because they feel like there's so much pressure to do those things within themselves. This is just within individual people, but
Yeah, but here's the problem.
They're
Guys
putting
like us,
pressure. They're putting undue pressure on their new significant other, or just somebody that they're dating.
No, but here's the problem. Us guys marry that same bitch that scratched in my brand new fucking vet, you cheater. Well, you know, keep the damn
That's what I'm
thing,
saying.
right?
That's what I'm saying. That this is what.
What are you gonna do?
It's that pressure that brings the pressure within themselves that bring on that crazy behavior of scratching into your car or calling you 300 times.
Well, and maybe
or showing up at your place.
Maybe
or,
you're coming up with something here. You know, maybe the kids today aren't dating because of that whole concept,
Crazy
right?
shit.
I mean, I know a lot of friends, my friends who have kids that are early to mid, even late 20s. They've been on maybe 2 dates. They just don't date, like we were talking about earlier. They go on groups maybe once in a while, but they're not dating. Maybe they're trying to avoid getting into that kind of situation
So
or that kind of
if you
environment.
can just bang and
Avoid
not have to have
or-
the other pressure,
Let's get back and
Wait.
swipe left.
yeah, let's do
Wait a
what
minute.
everybody
No
wants to
wonder
do.
they're doing
Yeah.
it.
Wait
This
a
is
minute.
it.
Avoid or are now socially awkward
Completely.
because
Completely.
you don't communicate very well in a public setting. Just with one-on-one, you communicate better because we don't even take phone
So
calls.
you didn't see me
Hide
when I was
behind
15 with my
We don't
high
even
waters
take
and
phone
my.
calls
Oh,
anymore.
you can
Bug
hide behind a
13.
text all day long,
Yeah.
right? Even
you-
if you send a picture, it's not really.
Do you think that that's breeding a new kind of crazy?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the fact that they tracking
Wackadoodle.
devices on cars are so readily available at this point, anybody can buy one and stick it on someone's car. That when I heard that, I
Cobra.
was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Well, hey, that's what they do, man. I mean, that's there's crazy people out there, and you kind of avoid them. But guys, you're not avoiding them because you got 3 fucking crazy people right here.
Hey.
But let us know your crazy stories. So subscribe, like, but comment. I want to know what your craziest story is. We'll catch you next time on Happening Now.